February 29 was a happy day for the Afghan people and entire region when United States and Afghan Taliban signed a historical peace agreement in Doha, brought a hope for the peace and the region. The peace agreement was not an easy task. Many countries including Qatar, Pakistan, China, Russia, Turkey, and many others played an important role in bringing US and Taliban to the table, and after hectic discussion, both sides reached to a final agreement that was warmly welcomed by entire world except a country and few individuals who felt the agreement can hide their malicious plan. However, the first hurdle was created in the implementation of the agreement by the Afghan President Dr. Ashraf Ghani, when who announced his disagreement and refusal to release the prisoners. As per the agreement, the prisoner release was the first clause of the agreement to move for the next phase of intra-Afghan dialogue, where Taliban and Afghan leaders would sign another agreement to how they will bring sustainable peace in their country, to end war and form a strong government and move their country from conflict to new era of development. But despite a forcing of 3 months, still the start of intra-Afghan dialogue hanged due to apparently self-interest, egos of some individuals. This situation has created an opportunity for those anti-peace elements who launched a violent move, carrying out attacks on civilian targets and spread fear among the public. 3 days back, a terrorist group Daesh carried out suicide attacks in a funeral in Kandahar and another one on a women's hospital in Kabul that was widely condemned by many countries including United States and Taliban. However, the Afghan government blamed Taliban for the attacks and President Ghani ordered to his forces for resuming offensive against Taliban. On next day, Taliban also carried out attacks on Afghan military base in Gardes as response to President Ghani announcement. The U.S. top peace envoy Zalmay Khalilzad in his statement on Twitter said the U.S. government assist ISIS Khorasan conducted the horrific attack on a maternity ward and funeral earlier this week in Afghanistan. ISIS has demonstrated a passion for favoring these type of heinous attacks against civilians and is threats to the Afghan people and to the world. ISIS also offers a peace agreement between the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and Taliban and seek to encourage sectarian war as in Iraq and Syria. Khalilzad further said, rather than falling into the ISIS trap and delay peace or create obstacles, Afghan must come together to crush this menace and pursue a historical peace opportunity. No more excuses. Afghan and the world deserve better. After the Khalilzad statement, Afghan Taliban also issued a detailed statement and strongly condemned both attacks and said they have nothing with these attacks. They accused the Afghan government and said some of their top leaders attributed these crimes to the Taliban and made use of a host of fabrication, Photoshop, and deception to mislead common perception. Taliban, without naming anyone, and said they consider the Afghan incident the work of malicious elements directly affiliated with Kabul administration. Taliban also called for a transparent and impartial investigation of these attacks to expose the perpetrator of these attacks. After the statement of Taliban and US, now the Afghan people are demanding for independent inquiry of these attacks, which will definitely help the peace-loving nation to know the real face of anti-peace elements in Afghanistan who are trying to derail the peace process in the country. Analysts believe that India is the only country in the world who did not welcome the US-Taliban peace agreement, as New Delhi feared that next strong government in Afghanistan, forming with consensus, could hack and disturb their hidden activities and use of Afghan soil against Pakistan. Now it's time for Washington, Taliban, and Afghan leaders to jointly push the peace process and immediately move for intra-Afghan dialogue to bringing peace in the war-torn country.
ISTV पाकिस्तान को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को दबाएं मजीद वीडियो और अपडेट्स के लिए।